song on the radio. I see my idols on TV. I'm getting older and nobody's heard of me. Gotta work my way up. It's everything I could ever want. I wanna throw down the books and pick up pen and paper. I'm always getting funny looks, and people say I'll never make it. I lie and stare at the roof. I know I've got something to prove. I wonder what it'd be like to live my dream in real life. The thought of it is so surreal, to be an unknown kid with a record deal. One of life's roller coasters, I'm gonna scream, singing my own songs, my only dream. Gotta work my way up, be whoever I like. If I only knew my future was so bright. Travel around the world and see.
Hi. Hi, Ina.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Is
Welcome
it?
to Talking with Demons, our Wednesday night edition. Normally, we're on the radio, but tonight's a special night. So we're coming here on our YouTube channel, hanging out with you guys, doing a special episode of Talking with Demons. How was your day, Ina?
So everybody can see me now, not just you.
I think everybody can see you.
I would have fixed my hair if you told me.
Well, it's not fixed.
No, this is my out of bed look.
Hey, Alex, how you doing? I'm sure. Is he laying next to you?
No,
Oh, he's
I sent him in the other room. He's taking a break.
So yeah, I just got back from a break.
Really? Do tell.
Rushed through the day. Got a little bit of sunburn. Me and the kids and the wife. We all went to camping for a couple of days. Got ourselves a cabin with an air conditioner in it, and right next to a little water park and horses and goats. The kids was like literally having a heyday with the horses because it was feeding the horses hay and the goats hay, and yeah. So it was. I had a blast. I had a blast. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Pumped.
Also, you look tanned.
I look tan. That's a good thing then. My job is done.
Yep.
What is today, Ina?
Yes. What is today? Today is Hug Day. Bring it in.
A hug?
Do it. Yes.
Get the hell out of here. No,
Come on.
No,
Bring
we're
it
not
in.
hugging. We're
Come
not
on.
hugging. Okay.
Just do it.
All right.
Oh, pat on the back.
Hey, why not? One day, fuck it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Everybody hug everybody who's next to you.
even at yourself, hug yourself. Let's get some hellos here real quick. We got Ina saying, "Hey, what's up, peeps?" We got our good buddy Bob Bones, Luna. Hello, Luna. Jace, the heavy metal pirate himself. R. How are we guys doing tonight? Good, I hope. My wife, hello, dear. Good to see you. Naked Dan's here. She's loving the backdrop. I am too. I just made it like 15 minutes before the show. It's like, yep, I'm doing it. I need something.
This old thing.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing the pentagram all the time. I want something a little different. Anyway, we got
They're
Luna
all
saying hi
orange now.
again. Today is Sid Eve, whatever that is. I don't know. Hi, Sam. How are you doing? Where's she at? How are you doing, Sam? We was just talking about you right before the show. How much hard work you do out there for these bands and how much we love you. Well, he gave me his R. Anyway, we got a special episode of Talking with Demons tonight. Tonight,
We do.
this evening, we have a very talented artist. We'll introduce him right now, as a matter of fact. A very talented artist. Introduced us by Sam Bones. I think the record label's RFL Records, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, so don't sue me. Don't come after me.
RFL.
RFL, is that it?
Probably.
You don't know. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure it's RFL.
please welcome David Lioncourt. Which
What's
one
up,
is
my
it?
dudes?
Okay, we got a debate going on.
Lioncourt.
Okay, we got a debate going on here.
It's right there.
No. We're going to make sure, because he might have typoed it too. So prior to
It's
the
true.
show,
It's a difficult word.
she thought your last name was Lioncourt. Is it Lioncourt or is it Lioncourt?
The latter. Lioncourt. No S.
See?
Don't look so upset, David.
I
And
had
if
it
there
right.
is an S, it's silent.
I
Yeah.
had it right then. Yeah. So
Fine.
yay
I
me.
lost.
No spell checking today. Yes. Anyway,
Mhm.
I thought I fucked up, and honestly, I thought I fucked up because I was rushing a little bit today. Like I said, I just came back from a trip this morning, so I was trying to rush, putting some artwork together, and I thought, oh, did I put S in? Did I forget to put the S in there? But no,
No, you're good,
I
man.
did it right.
No S, need apply.
Well, I guess I had to fix it back then. Fix one of them back then. Everybody knows I'm a hot mess. Anyway, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it.
All the way in from California, right?
Absolutely. It's only like it's pretty early over here still. It's like middle afternoon.
What's it like there? What's going on there? Is the weather nice there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you like, it's where I live. It's about 100 degrees. So I mean, that's pretty, standard, I guess, for this area of California. It's not great. Beaches are too far. I wish they were closer, but it's okay.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, I got introduced to you by Sam. She's saying hello, by the way.
Absolutely, Sam is the best. Hey, Sam. Thank you.
She introduced us for a show, and I shamefully told you, but prior to the show, that I didn't quite get to listen to any of the music because I got so many submissions until today. And then I was like really, really pleasantly surprised of how good the band, you and the band sound.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The band was Lioncourt, right? You had a band called Lioncourt.
Correct.
At one point in time, then you've gone on to be a solo artist, right?
Yes. So everything that you heard on the recording for the American Scream, that's all me playing all the instruments.
Everything, the drums, bass, all of it.
All of that is written, performed by me.
Well, aren't you just a talented fella?
Just really bored growing up, so I just dove into a lot of different instruments.
You make us look bad. I can't play any instrument, so.
Well, everybody's got their own thing.
That's true.
You play an instrument, you sing. That's an instrument.
I sing it, kinda.
That's a natural instrument. See, we don't have to pick up any guitar or drums when you got a natural talent like that. Which, by the way, excuse me, David, you sing pretty well too. You're not too shabby yourself now.
Well, thank you. It was the last thing that I did. So when it came to writing music, playing music, singing was the last thing that I tried, and it just kind of stuck.
Was it just because you was bored playing a single instrument? You're like, all right, I want to try to tackle two things at once.
It was one of those things where I was writing music and I heard a certain vocal in my head, and I didn't know anybody that could do it, so I just kind of started singing along to the stuff that I really liked, which was like Skid Row or Queensryche or fill in the blank, Lynch Mob.
You want fairly some hard vocalists to try to match up there with.
Yeah, I mean, and full disclosure, in the beginning, it was terrible. I was probably, 17, I think, when I first started trying to maybe I'll see if I can give this singing thing a shot. But those were the bands that I was listening to. It was like Slave to the Grind by Skid Row or Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche or, whatever good rock band that was out at the time. I mean, I think when I was in high school, the type of music that was really popular was like Stained or Korn or Limp Bizkit, which is, no harm, no foul to any of those bands. But for me, I personally didn't identify with it. So I kind of went back to the 80s stuff and, was heavily influenced by, the 80s and early 90s music, even though by the time I was really getting the music, all those bands have already come and gone and were no longer in style or whatever. But
who was it in your life that got you into the 80s music then? You said it came and gone by the time you started getting into it. So who got you into some of these 80s bands then? Like Skid Row or Queensryche?
Oh, that 100%, that was my dad.
Your dad?
So yeah, my dad grew up, he was, I think he graduated in 83, 82, 83, somewhere around there. So he was that was his music of his generation. So me as a little kid, going through the music Rolodex under the TV, you have, he had a CD collection. And in there is where I discovered, Motley Crue and Skid Row and Queensryche, or Warrant, Lynch Mob, Badlands. So all these bands that he was, playing in the truck all the time.
I haven't heard that band in a long time. I was so sad when the lead singer passed away because I thought their debut album was just absolutely just phenomenal. Jakey Lee, and I can't think of the lead singer's name now.
Ray Gillen.
Yeah, I just was so sad when that guy. That solo, that first album they did was just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the first record was great. I mean, even the follow-up, Voodoo Highway, was tremendous. Both those records with Ray Gillen and Jakey Lee were great, and those are definitely some of the bands or some of the songs that I incorporated in trying to like expand vocal range. So it's one of those things that I really dig.
So when you was teaching yourself to play all these instruments, what was the first one that you started off teaching yourself?
That was the guitar. So basically, my aunt, she had a friend who had like a little harmony guitar that I think she got like J.C. Penney in the 80s, and a little Squier amp that had been sitting in her garage for like 15 years. And I was 10 and was kind of talking that I was interested about it. So she just gave it to me. I mean, both the guitar and the amp were probably worth $20 at a garage sale. But she was like, just go ahead and take it. So I was, obviously super excited. So, I did what I think any 10-year-old kid who wants to play music does. And I went home and turned on the radio and sat in front of the radio on my bed with a guitar, not knowing anything, and just try to figure out, okay, that's that note. Where's that note on here? And just kind of worked it through until I figured out like, oh, that's a power chord. Okay, this is the first chord. That's the second chord, until you can, at least get through it.
Your influences at that time then?
Oh man, at that time, I think Metallica had just come out with Load. So that was probably like pretty prominent at the time. I know that, it's still in the mid 90s, the Black Album was still gigantic. So I know that Inner Sandman was one of the first songs that I think my dad, hey, this is how that actually goes, and showed me how to play that on his nylon string acoustic. So, I know how to play the opening riff to this song, so I'm going to play it for an hour because it's the only thing I know, but I'm really excited that I know it. So that was probably Metallica, and then I think there was some Judas Priest in there, and then some Van Halen that he showed me as well. Just kind of like, here's a couple ideas, tinker around with these and see how you do.
So what was the first song you actually learned how to play from beginning to end?
I believe that was Inner Sandman. I think that was the first song that I was able to, at like 10 or 11, not the guitar solo part, but just all the rhythms. I was able to get through the entire thing and just like, run around my room jumping around that I could actually do it. Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. This is what I got to do.
Awesome. It looks like we got a confession here in the comments I want to get to. It says right here, Luna Ravenwolf, welcome, by the way, to the show. I may have a small crush on David. Shh, don't tell.
The cat's out of the bag.
Too late. Gotcha, girl.
Thank you, my lady.
Well, that's really cool. Hello, Mary Beth. She just came on as well. Hello, Mary Beth. How are you doing? Good evening to you as well. So yeah, let's play a music video, shall we, David? Let's give everybody a little bit of taste of what we're talking about here. And we'll come back and start talking a little bit more about what it was like for you growing up and learning some of these instruments along the way. And we'll talk a little bit about the song and video.
Sounds good, my man. Let's go.
All right, so we're going to start off with let's start off with Devil's Bride. This is the band right here, Lioncourt and Devil's Bride. So this is their song, guys. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Operator, can't you pick up the phone? Line is dead like a horse and there's something on.
Hey, this is Jeff from Westlake, and you're watching Talking with Demons.
Welcome back, everybody. Damn, what a good song that was.
Thanks, my man.
Wow. Turn up the AC.
Coming in hot.
Well, there might be a few people in here live that might be sounds like Luna might be a little bit hot and bothered too, so we might have to bust out the AC for her as well, huh?
Hose her down.
Go put her in a cold shower. Sit there and don't move. Yeah, what a great song, man. Talk a little bit about this song. Tell us a little bit about the video and stuff like that. What was you guys going for there?
So for that song, I had that opening riff that I had just kind of been playing around with that for a while, and pretty much I worked the entire song around that riff. So I had the opening riff, and because I was playing it at home, just thinking, dude, this got so much energy. It's like it's so driving. So I knew that I had to write a tune out of it. So I kind of worked throughout the arrangement, wrote everything out, and then went through lyrics and vocal melodies, and was just trying to figure out, what kind of story I wanted to tell. So I ended up writing. I mean, the song can be about whatever anybody wants to interpret it to be. But for me, it was kind of more about mental health and personifying a little bit of anxiety and depression into like a person, so that more people could be able to like kind of pull on it in terms of like personal experience. So that's kind of like what lyrically, like where I was at with it. I think I had started writing that or had just finished writing it right after the pandemic started. So I was able to really kind of pull out some the feelings that I was having at the beginning of that year. So I think we recorded that song in July of 2020 and then released the music video for it in October of 2020.
Are these two separate entities here, Lioncourt and your solo work? Are these both still active?
No, so Lioncourt, we disbanded Lioncourt the end of last month. So David Lioncourt, I'm kind of going my own way. Two of the members of Lioncourt are a part of this project. So on drums, I have Stacy Rios, that was the drummer of Lioncourt, and the bassist, Robert John Ghost. Both of those guys are still with me on this project. And I will be playing all those songs that I wrote for Lioncourt. So we will be moving forward with all those. And then I've
Nice.
written a ton of music that, that still hasn't come out yet, that I'm in the process of, I just finished shooting the official video for the American Scream this past weekend. So the videographer is, smashing that out right now. So we'll probably have a early, or it's like a mid-July release for the official music video. And this is like a whole new beast, man. So like what I do with
that's what I want to get at. Well, I want to ask you next. How scary is it now coming from a band perspective, and then now you're doing a solo thing? Is there much of a difference for you?
I would say there is. This feels a lot more free. This is just me and my element. I don't have to really a lot of the ideas and the things that with Lioncourt were driven by me, and obviously other people had their opinions on certain things that we did together, which, made it what it was. But with this, it's so relieving because I can just go full steam ahead with a single idea. Like, this is what I want to do for this song. I don't feel like I don't have to write in a box, right? So with Lioncourt, it was great. We had the imagery, whereas that vampire, that gothic thing, right? But lyrically and, in terms of song titles and vibe of music, it had to kind of fit that niche as well. Where with this, I feel like I'm a little bit more free to write whatever I want. So if one song's going to be maybe a little inspired by thrash music, and I can talk about whatever this is, the next song could be a little bit more maybe straight up 80s riff and heavy hard, or it could be super modern hard rock song with a 7-string. I don't really feel like with what I'm doing now, I have to categorize myself or throw it in a box. This is a rock and roll band, and we're going to do whatever we want to do.
And that's the soul, the heart and soul of rock and roll right there, what you just said.
Absolutely.
Kudos to you. I by the way, I love American Scream too as well. I heard that earlier today as well. Amazing. We'll play that here a little bit later though, but yeah. So we was talking about earlier, you're like the heavy metal Justin Bieber, and you can play you can play all your instruments and sing. I mean, that's what Justin Bieber does, to be fair.
That's true.
I mean, you can't really knock the guy. I mean, to be fair, I'm not be a fan of his music, but he's got some talent there somewhere to be able to play
Absolutely.
all your instruments and then still do what you do. So you're like the heavy metal version of Justin Bieber, right?
I'll
So
take it.
well, and that's a compliment, jokingly compliment, but yes, you are
Yeah.
multi-talented. So you said you learned how to play guitar when you first started teaching yourself instruments, and what was the next one that you decided you was going to tackle?
Drums. So drums was a big one that I was like really pushing for. I mean, I think by the time that I was like seventh grade, I think is when I got a drum kit. And by 15, I was in studio playing on records.
Nice. Drums had to be. What was more challenging for you, the guitar or the drums?
Guitar. Drums for me was like a duck to water. Like for whatever reason, I don't know what it was. Like I could just sit down and it was just, I felt at home playing the drums. Like it was not a hard task.
Who'd you pick up? So was it just something like you said you just picked it up, but was there someone that influenced you in your style that you started playing?
It was nobody that I knew because I didn't know anybody at the time that played drums. I just knew that, I was watching music videos and I just wanted to do all the things, right? I was probably looking back at, I was probably a little OCD, a little hyperactive and needed something to focus on. So for me playing the drums, it was like, I want to play punk rock. I want to play metal. I want to play, all the glam stuff. I want to do all the stick spins like Tommy Lee. Like I want to do like the theatrics, the visual aspect of stuff. But, so it was just.
That's how I learned to play the drums, to be fair, right? Just like I watched the music videos. But at this time, it was MTV was actually playing music videos like
Yeah.
all day long. And so you'd sit there, you have certain like blocks of metal, and then you have like a little bit later, Headbangers Ball came on for a long time. So
Yeah.
I would watch these videos. I would buy the little VHS tapes just to watch the drummers and perform in concerts. But that's how I just sit there and watched and studied and watched what they did. Like, I wanted to be
Same.
like Tommy Lee and twirl the drumsticks. I wanted to be like Ricky Rocket and do all the fancy twirling as you're drumming.
Absolutely.
So I watched and studied. And then as soon as I picked the drums up, it was like a no brainer. It was like you said, duck to water.
Absolutely, man. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like, I mean, when I'm writing music now, playing drums for all those early years and, having the understanding of, what drums are, how they can completely change the vibe of a song, and having that type of understanding helps me out great as a songwriter. Because now when I'm playing a guitar and I'm, going through like, what the chord progressions are going to be while simultaneously thinking about what I want to sing over the top of that, in the back of my mind, I'm writing the drums. Like this is what the drums are doing for every single section.
Kind of like how it's for me too. The drums start how my song is going to come out.
Absolutely.
So in my head, I'm drumming a beat, and from that point, I'm going to create in my mind the guitar, the bass, and the lyrics follow right behind it.
Yeah, dude, same thing. It's the exact same. It's just, sitting down and following it through. Like, where does this want to go? I had this one riff, but now I got to figure out where this entire song needs to go for the next 3.5 to 5 minutes. And then, just follow that until it's done. So you can like walk away from it and forget about it for a while.
I've been doing a lot of talking.
Yeah, I gotta ask though. I'm really curious. How many guitars do you own?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
I was just counting.
It's about 15.
And you want a new one? I saw the white one you posted on your story, like a new edition.
I already got that on pre-order, so that was already purchased. I just gotta wait for them to deliver.
So we're up to 16 now.
Well, it'll be 17 by the end of today because I'm gonna get the black version of that white one too.
Do I have?
And why not? Why not?
No, I just like guitars.
It's a good thing, man. It's
Just like
it's part. It's I got to add it to the collection. I mean, a lot of the songs that I'm writing now, I'm incorporating 7-string guitars in them for that extended range. So 2 of the songs that I've just pretty much finished writing, they're both on 7-string guitars. So I'm gonna need, I want to keep the aesthetic the same. For all the 6-string stuff that we're gonna be playing live, I have my Gibson Les Paul standards that I'm playing. And then so Matt Heafy of Trivium just came out with a 7-string Les Paul custom. So I got to get, both of those guys so we can keep that aesthetic alive while simultaneously, being able to crush that low end. So, it's going to be a good time.
Here is a viewer question. What is your favorite one?
Oh, man, it's my 2014 Gibson Les Paul Standard in Root Beer Burst. So it's a AAA flame top. And that's probably my favorite one. I think it has like a 60s slim tapered neck on it. So it's really, really thin relative to what like you think of a Gibson neck. Gibsons tend to have those thick, heavy 50 styles necks. And on that one, it's for whatever reason, just super, super tight, super thin, super fast. So, I mean, that's probably my favorite one, which that guitar will be in the video for the American Scream. That's kind of like my staple for probably the vast majority of what I'll do in terms of this project.
Fucking impress me, David. I want you to fucking impress me. Do you have a banjo?
Nope. I sure don't. I wish I
Not
did.
yet.
Well, it's been one of those things where I've always kind of wanted to like incorporate a banjo just so I can learn how to play the beginning of Uncle Tom's Cabin by Warrant on the banjo, because I think that would be so sick.
You're speaking my lingo. Warrant was one of my favorite bands as a kid. One of my very first albums I purchased was Poison's "Look What the Cat Dragged In." I mean, outside of Motley Crue, "Shout the Devil." So I grew up literally 11, 12 years old, started off listening to 80s glam metal, Twisted Sister, Quiet Riot, Epic, all those bands, Balls of the Wall. I mean, all that stuff I just grew up listening to as a child. And I catch myself quite often going back to listening to that stuff quite frequently.
Dude,
So
it's
great
great.
to hear.
It's great music, man. I mean, I listen to, I mean, I think earlier today when I got in my truck, I have a little playlist that I made, and it's the first song is Queensryche, Eyes of a Stranger, right into Lynch Mob's Wicked Sensation, into Uncle Tom's Cabin by Warrant. Like I have a whole 80s, it's like my 80s bangers list, and it's sick.
Don't get me wrong. Today's music, there's a lot of talented musicians out there. We've definitely progressed and evolved as when music has from back when it was like in the 80s hair metal, because it was all sort of kind of like the basic style for back then for the 80s. It was, but just something about the taking you back to that time frame when it all began. For me, it's priceless. I go back to it all. I'll go even my radio shows. I'll try to slide in a few 80s hair metal bands in my shows.
It's good stuff, man. All day long. I'll listen to that stuff all day.
Oh, like last week, what we have one show we had about 6 of the bands were actually hair metal. Ugly Kid Joe had a new song that came out. Def Leppard's got a new album out. There was quite a few bands that I was surprised out. Megadeth just came out with a new song.
That's awesome. Ugly Kid Joe's America's Least Wanted was the first cassette that I ever purchased with my lunch money.
Nice. Mine was Motley Crue, Shout the Devil, and I got it through that Columbia Record House deal where back in the day you can join the club and they'll send you like 15 cassettes to you in the mail, and then monthly they charge you for one album for all year. So that's how I end up getting my collection. I had fucking hundreds of tapes.
That's awesome.
Hundreds. But yeah, my first one was Motley Crue, and then Stryper, 12 the Devil was my second one. They all came out they came out in that first package that I bought. So yeah, I was like, yeah. Dan has a question for you.
But do I need a naked guy? You know what, Dan? I'm all full. Thank you, though. Appreciate the inquiry.
Sam says, I grew up with the same band, Sid. See, well, I mean, I'm close to 50. And I grew up. I'm not a big fan of like the classic rock, like 70s and 60s. I'm not a big fan of like the stoner hippie anti-war stuff back then. I just never was a big fan of that. But 80s is about as far as I'll go back, and I'll still to this day. So it's a breath of fresh air hearing new bands play that kind of style of music.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, there's definitely maybe not so much in the American Scream, but there are songs that I've written probably more in the catalog that was for Lioncourt, where you might be able to hear some of the 80s influences, a little bit of that Dokken vibe. I was a big, still am a big George Lynch fan, so there's some of that and some of the rhythms.
some Don Dokken, and one of my favorite songs by them was Dream Warriors.
So sick. It's a great
Yeah.
song.
I love the fucking movie. I'm a Freddy Krueger fan anyway, Nightmare on Elm Street fan. And when they came out with that song, Dream Warriors, for that movie, I thought, this is this fucking match made in heaven right here.
Yeah, dude, it was great. I've watched that video so many times.
Anyway, Ina, I'm talking too much.
Yeah. Well, I gotta ask, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do? What's your vision
Besides porn.
besides porn?
You know, I hope that I can reach more people through music. You know, if I can inspire, you know, more young people to want to pick up an instrument and really learn how to play, considering that I felt like feel like a lot of the younger music that's coming out is more in electronic and not so much based into actual instruments. So I think if me or people like myself who, you know, play multiple instruments could be, you know, inspiring in any capacity to people to want to carry that torch for rock and metal music, that would be great. You know, I would love to, you know, put out a record next year, like a full length. You know, if I could do some, you know, some bigger shows and, you know, meet some cool people, I think that would be a great time, man. You know, I'm just here to write music, sing songs, and have a good time.
Play the banjo.
And the banjo. Only the Uncle Tom intro, though.
Let's get this.
Did-
I'm sorry, Ina, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, do you have any gigs lined up?
So currently what we're doing, or what I'm planning on doing right now, is I'm going to start booking things for probably, I would say like September-ish. I'm just kind of taking the summer to really focus on the songwriting, getting out music videos, more singles, and then really get the band as tight as we can get, you know, with the new music that I'm writing. Because there's a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be putting out that no one, including the guys in the band, have heard yet. So it's a matter of getting everybody on the same page, kind of dialing in the live act. And then once I feel that we're in a place that I know that like this is it, we're kicking ass, then I'll start making those phone calls.
Excellent. So Sid, were you gonna say that it's time for us to listen to another song? Is that it?
It's all right with you. You got another
I
question?
guess.
You got another
I
question?
guess it's fine. I'll ask later. I have a bunch of questions.
Okay, I'll be silent at the last half of the show. Sorry.
No, don't do it.
All right, so next up we're going to play another one from Lioncourt. This is Porcelain Bones, and you guys are watching Talking with Demons. We're hanging out with David Lioncourt, Sid, and Ina, and we'll be right back, guys.
Where Forever May Fall, and you're watching Inner Demon Media.
I've seen the lost inside.
this is Craig from Godlocker, and you're watching Talking with Demons.
What can I say?
Another amazing track. And mad props to the videographer.
Yeah, it's Mike Clubb. He's an absolute. He's a G. He's so good at what he does.
Yeah.
I didn't even pay attention to the fucking video, to be fair.
Were you listening to the song? Were you going into it?
Listening to the song. I had my eyes closed and I was listening to the song, and fucking phenomenal. Really,
Oh, thanks, my man.
really good job on that. Really good job.
Does
Thank
it
you,
feel
thank you.
weird performing without a guitar, just singing?
No, I think that
No, it doesn't. He is. Did you not see that parts of that video where he was working the camera?
I saw. That's why I'm asking. Is it weird for him? Like,
nah,
is he missing something? Like, I have to hold the guitar.
no, man.
They go up to the camera. Does he have room for the guitar?
It's. I mean, in that particular setting, it was good to go. So I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah, but in your live gigs, you were always playing the guitar.
So in the live gigs, no, never did.
No?
No. In Lioncourt, we always had 2 guitar players, so I didn't have to worry about any of the guitar stuff. So I would just do like the demos at the house, here at my house, and then shoot them over to everybody so they had a time to listen to them, kind of get fresh. And then we would all get together for rehearsal. I would just kind of like it's this riff or this and this is that, and go to this riff. Just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And, both the guitar players at the time were, great guitar players. So we could dial something in, within about, 3 or 4 times of playing it. And then, we played a lot of shows at that time, 2018, 2019. So we were a well-oiled machine when it came to like live stuff, but I never had to play any of the guitar work. I just wrote it.
How often did
But
you
now-
stand in front of the mirror and like do all the moves?
Absolutely never.
I'm gonna have to practice that.
It was just like, what you see is what you get. Like, that's just where we were in the moment. And he would say, okay, we're going to shoot now. And I'd be like, all right. So it was just kind of, one of those things that, just happened.
We're getting Dan aroused. It makes me want to get naked and
The
dance.
Naked Man is back.
Oh wait, I'm already.
He never left.
He's getting aroused. His nips must be getting hard.
This is not weird at all.
Yes, it is.
Don't drive him away. It's the first time he's here.
They never.
He's
come
not
back.
going to come back.
They never come back. Yeah.
Well, actually, I can ask a couple of Jace's questions if we want to weird him out completely.
We'll get to Jason's questions at the end of the show because they are just like the bizarrest fucking questions to ask.
Yeah.
Apparently, for Jace, they're the most important questions to ask.
Yeah.
It's not something
Icebreaker.
I would ask on a normal, regular basis. Like, hey, what's up? Do you do this? No, I wouldn't do that. But apparently, our buddy Jace, all the way in UK, there must be a fetish or it must be a thing where there's stores that probably sells different flavored of these items. It's for people to eat. I don't know.
Yeah, we get it. Sid would like to be excluded from this narrative. Like,
Please. Ina, go ahead. Ask another question.
another question. I don't know. Your craziest moment on a gig. Go.
Craziest moment at a gig? Craziest moment. I played a show when I was before I did all the Lioncourt stuff. I was a professional drummer that was touring the country, and we played a show opening up for Anthrax, and it was at Nokia Theater in New York. And the first song that we played, there was no sound going into house. So we were up there thinking that we're killing it. And then when the song was over, it was dead. It was a sold out show to like 2,500 people. We get done. We're like, yes. And we get done and it's dead silent. No one, there's nothing. And I'm like, we're sitting there kind of looking like, what the hell? And then one guy in the back, boo. And I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck happened? Like, this is our first song in. What the hell? And we found out later that when we got off stage is that the sound guys were having problems. So they told us, hey, we're good to go. Start the show. So we're playing one full song and there's just no sound. It's just art hitting us us hitting the instruments and like the on stage sound. So the people in the audience
Could you
are just
imagine?
they're just hearing like me hit cymbals and nothing else. And
You
then we're
got the
like,
very ending of the rock poses with the drumsticks up in the air,
Yeah.
and you guys are all pumped, and everybody's like,
boo. And I was just like, what is going on? This sucks.
"What is this band?" I mean,
I didn't pay for this.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was definitely not a rock star moment.
What was
Yeah.
your rockstar moment, though?
Oh man. I think probably like I mean there might have been a few, but I would say first time I was asked to sign an autograph when I was like 21, when I was playing drums in that band, got stopped at a mall in Southern California and was recognized from a video we had a video that was on Headbangers Ball that was hosted by Jimmy Josta of Hatebreed. So somebody recognized me and the guitar player, and I was like, what the hell? That was definitely, a rock star moment. And then the second one I can think of is probably going to be being in our dressing room. We were playing House of Blues in LA, and we were opening up for Motorhead, and Lemmy walked in and just like hung out. I was just like, I didn't even know what to say. I was just sitting there like drinking a bottle of water, and Lemmy walks in. He was all, bottle of water, eh? Be careful of that shit. Fish fucking it. And then he just turned around and walked out. And then everyone looks at me because I got the bottle of water. And I'm just like, dude, Lemmy just talked about my bottle of water. This is great.
Epic.
Yeah, so I mean, those are just some of the things. I mean, obviously you got a lot of stuff that happens when you're on the road, but those are two memories that just popped out to me like right off the bat. Obviously, being able to stand in a room with Lemmy and have, a little piece of that, it was a good time.
What would you want to happen to you in the future?
Oh man, I mean, there's a lot of things. I think that as long as health and happiness, anything else, I'm good with. So I mean, music related, not music related. As long as my family's good to go, I'm good.
Obviously, but music related, any like collaborations or anything, like something you really want to be on stage with someone.
I mean, it would be cool to, share a stage with like certain different bands that maybe I grew up with, or just to be able to like tour in a capacity that would be comfortable, and not, in that, the van idea of touring. But, future stuff, I think that if I could just play some really fun shows with some cool people, I would be satisfied with that.
Excellent. If you ever do tour the UK, though, Jace has a creepy shed that he will let you sleep in, and he has and he has a pub down the street. So
it's not a shed, Ina.
He will try to lure you in.
It's in his home. It's right. It's attached inside his home. It's like
garage.
It's sex dungeon.
I'm pretty sure this is like every single like serial killer documentary on Netflix right now. This is how they all start.
It is.
It's like yeah.
it's like, not called the House of Pain for nothing.
It's attached to his house. He invites every single band that is on the show over to his home. They can stay in the spare room. He said he'll be in there with you guys, hanging out, doing whatever. He'll greet you at the door.
That's rough.
Welcome to his crib. And then there's a pub about 200 feet away. He can get you drunk and slip you the roofies in.
Okay, absolutely not. No, I'm not doing it.
Just sleep on it. Think about it.
Yeah, I'm good. I slept on him. That's a hard no. Absolute pass.
Fine. Jace, I tried.
Okay, that was the first question for Jace. The second question is,
the second question is, what's your favorite flavor crayon? Imagine you can assign like a flavor to a color.
A crayon.
What would it be?
No. We're not. This is not an imagination thing.
You're
grabbing the crown out of the box and you're eating it.
Yeah.
Oh man. I guess I'm gonna have to go with purple.
Why gotta be purple? What does it taste like to you?
Well, I'm hoping it's going to taste like grape, but more likely it's going to taste like crappy wax and paper. But I'm going to go with that.
I mean, for it to even be a question, it still baffles me.
Absolutely.
It's an icebreaker.
I mean,
I
don't think there's that all the crowns would even taste even different, would they? I mean, they're all wax and wax paper. I mean, I don't think there's any kind of like special ingredient they add to it to make it taste like a red one or a purple one or an orange.
But it would be nice if they did, though.
I mean,
like add some flavor to it.
I mean, absolutely, but I mean, you could always go with the, there's the Sharpies, the markers, and they actually smell like something, so that's something.
Yeah, but they're for sniffing, not eating. So
looks like you like purple, and it looks like Luna's taking you home. I wonder where she's going to stuff you at.
Just not.
So
in his room.
He's willing to follow Luna, but not Jace.
Absolutely not.
Just to be clear.
There's no crowns involved about eating crowns. I mean, that almost sounds like some weird Guantanamo Bay torture. Like they just like a whole table full of crowns. It's like, all right, eat them all. And which one's your favorite flavor? They all taste the same. God damn it! I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're all going to taste terrible. Spoiler alert! It's awful. Don't do it.
I had to ask though. I was forced to ask. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Please come back to our show.
Forgiven.
Anyways, let's talk about this new single that you got coming out. Well, it's out now, actually. American Scream. Let's talk a little bit about this. Is this your first one released with your solo stuff?
Correct. So this is kind of like the lead single out the gate, just kind of giving everybody an idea of, what I'm doing, how I write music. It was like kind of in the same vein of I wanted something that was upbeat, punchy, drivey, so it's just kind of like balls to the wall, hard rock, so I just kind of led with something that was a little bit on the adrenaline side of things, and as I go through, I mean, there's definitely a palette that I'm working with, and I want to make sure that I'm kind of touching on certain things. So don't expect me to put out 5 more singles that sound like the American Scream. Like I'm going to switch it up. There's going to be different, chord progressions, different key changes, different BPM that I'm working in. I want to like touch a lot of different things. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Like touching things, you hear that?
Only crayons, purple ones.
Luna, did you hear that, Luna? I know you're probably still watching. He likes touching things.
But that's the magic of it, like switching it up.
There's magic involved, I'm sure.
It is.
But absolutely, yeah. You just want to make sure, like, you don't want to go out and like play the same, chord progression. You don't want to do, I mean, you kind of sometimes you can get into the habit of, in terms of writing songs, going back to the same well, where you might do similar things. But for me, I'm just really trying to make sure that I don't do that,
Just
and that
all kinds of sounds.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like the banjo.
Yeah.
Only on Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Well, you got to know you can incorporate a song though. You can probably write a song with a little bit of a banjo, maybe a banjo solo. Everything just kind of like knocks down, and all you hear is just like you just ripping on the banjo.
I mean, I could see what we could do. A little chicken picking. We could do that.
He's open to all of your suggestions for some reason. I don't know why.
Hey, I think banjo sounds good with some metal. There's quite a few what they call southern metal bands.
Yeah, I've seen those.
The banjo and stuff like that, old school bluegrass. They bring bluegrass instruments in the mix, and they do a really good fucking job on some of them.
Absolutely, I've seen a couple of them that did like, I think they did a cover of Master of Puppets, and that was legit.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a fun instrument to listen to. And it takes a serious talent to play them too, I guess, because I can't.
I would have no idea.
5 fingers at the same time as I'm playing a guitar.
That's wild. Yeah, I have no idea.
No.
So, question: what's American Scream about, lyric-wise?
So that was kind of like, I think that was kind of like one of those things where I was observing, what was happening post-COVID-ish type of deal. And was reflecting on certain things that I was thinking about or things that I had seen. So pretty much the American Scream is basically based on my frustrations with the things that I saw. And kind of like almost like a call to arms type of deal, you know? I mean, that's like the whole American Scream is like a play on words with the American Dream, where, you know, what I was seeing play out wasn't what I would consider to be American. I didn't see like the vibe that I think that we're known for as being American people. I didn't see that, you know, and for me, it was kind of like it was a little like infuriating. So for me, it was kind of like the American Screams were like a reminder of like, hey, like this is not the type of people that we are. And these are the type of views that, you know, we all have different ones. That's the, you know, the beautiful thing about being here. But for me, it was one of frustration and just being kind of pissed. So I just took to, you know, writing that lyrically to kind of like shine some light on things that I saw, you know, being a Californian, which, you know, California and New York were obviously one of the most heavily locked down states in the nation. So the things that my friends and my family saw here, like we were all on the same page in terms of our having similar frustrations and seeing through some of the bullshit that was being told us, even though, you know, it doesn't make any damn sense, but they're hoping that you're going to believe, you know? So just able to kind of talk through some of those things and, you know, had a good time while I did it.
Super badass. So kind of really ironic that it comes out around this time too, and all the things that are going on in the United States right now with the Roe versus Wade and some of the rights being taken away from some of the women. So kind of like a call to arms song. I like that. That's what we need.
Absolutely.
We need more people call to arms and stand up for the rights. We are the people. We are the foundation of the United States of America, not the government.
Absolutely. 100%.
Good for you. So anything you want to give a shout out to before we head out?
Oh, well, I obviously, you know, shout out to RFL. You know, I just signed with them recently, so everything's been great. Sam Bone, amazing person to work with. I mean, she has been an absolute joy in my life since, you know, her and I have, you know, been teaming up with everything. You know, Doug of RFL, obviously, you've known him the last 3 years. Everybody who's been supportive of me. I mean, obviously, you know, check if you like anything you saw. David Lioncourt Music at Instagram, and then on Facebook, it's David Lioncourt Official. You know, so if you want to, you know, stick around, you know, I just kind of started up the Facebook for David Lioncourt last month. And I think we're just over like 400 people on there. So, you know, starting fresh. I got a lot more music coming out. I got a lot more in the works. So if you want to be a part of it, you know, come join me. Let's go have a good time.
Nice. Be sure to follow him everywhere, guys. Smash that like, follow, go to his YouTube channel. You got a YouTube channel?
Yep. And so I have it, you know, it's David Lioncourt. On YouTube, and I will be putting up the official American Scream video on there sometime in July.
Nice.
Excellent. So stalk him on social media.
Please do. Absolutely. There's Doug.
Hi, Douglas. How are you doing, Doug? Does he like being called Doug or Douglas?
Whatever. I think he likes Doug. Dougie.
I always get everybody with a full name. Douglas, good to see you, buddy. I'm always proper with names. He doesn't suck. No, he's a very talented guy. You guys got a hell of a snatch with this guy. I wish you the best of luck in everything you're doing in the near future. If we'll get you back on here again sometime in the very, very near future as well.
Would love to. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Everybody go check out David Lioncourt everywhere on social media. Like Ina said, stalk him down there. Hunt him down. You are the predator and he is the prey. You hunt him down. You find him. You like his stuff. You follow his stuff. Until then, guys, you guys have a great night. We're in it tonight with his solo song, The American Scream. We'll see you guys Friday on Delinquents Ball at 2 p.m. And right after that, another new episode of Metal Moose Radio. Till then, guys, you guys be safe and be well.
Thank you.
It's time to listen, pay attention with hate. Money's in season, so there's no time to waste. curing for you. The only question, who is who, and can't you see it left here in misery? Wait, now they're coming after your town. So there's nothing left in your ground. Down there on your knees, time for the American way. Now they're coming after your town. So there's nothing left in your ground. Down there on your knees, time for the American dream. The American scream. The American dream. Wait, now they're coming after